Okay, this video is for people who have asked numerous times for an update on my garden. I haven't done it yet, but I'm doing it now. So y'all can stop fussing at me. If you're not interested in gardening, turn the damn video off. So anyway, here I have my lemon and lime trees. I always intercrop, so I have sweet peas coming out at the bottom here. There, hopefully they'll cascade down the front. I put borage as a pest deterrent, or is it borage? I don't know. And then, as you can see, it's fruiting. It's doing all right. They're doing okay. Just regular plants. Make sure I get some oleander because it's poisonous to any animals that come in here and eat it. I don't care. So this kind of started out as Ryan's salsa garden, but I just added some more stuff. So everything I grow in different beds at different stages. So these green beans are starting to flower, so they'll fruit soon. Um, in here, I intercrop a lot, so there's Swiss chard, there's basil, there's some oregano. I put herbs in every bed, and these are my tomato plants here. And as you can see, they're flowering, so they should be fruiting soon. Um, More basil. I'm going to be harvesting my radishes soon. I really like that. My arugula that my pretty niece planted for me, and there's some carrots. They like to be shaded, so I grew these beans so that they can kind of fly over them, or shade them or whatever. And they're about to start flowering. They haven't started flowering yet, but they're about to. And so that's some thyme, more borage. This is kale. I have kale and Swiss chard in almost every bed you'll see as I get to the other ones. In this area, there's cilantro at different stages because you use a lot at a time. So as this crop grows up, there'll be new ones growing in. And there's some more carrots. They're coming up. I have to thin that out soon. I just don't know when. And this is, you see all the flowers for the tomatillo, so hopefully we'll get those in soon. And more flowers for the jalapeno, so hopefully we'll get those soon too. And then over here we have Swiss chard, Brazilian spinach that I'm going to talk about in a moment, and more oregano. Remember, herbs in every garden bed just kind of helps with pests. This used to be all mud, and I just brought out like yards and yards of mulch just to kind of get through everything. So this is the Brazilian spinach I was talking about. So it's basically a perennial plant. It'll just be here. All you have to do is cut the limbs, each like stems off, and just plop it into some dirt, and they will grow. And you saw back there how they were growing. I'll show you other spots where they're growing, and you have all these new just perennial plants of spinach that you can just cut off, either cook or make into a smoothie or whatever you want to do with them, or eat them raw. So this is going to be red currant tomatoes, really small, like an inch and a half diameter tomatoes. I'm not going to keep all of them. I'm just waiting to see which one is going to grow the strongest, and I'm going to cut the rest and have them growing on up this area here. And here's one of my fig trees. I keep marigold at the bottom. The fig tree looks good. I think it's done fruiting for the year, but maybe next year. And this, similar to the citrus trees over there, this is my sweet peas. They're going to grow up here. They're already starting to climb. They're kind of new. And I just put new romaine seeds here for rainy day because he makes salads every day. And this is my blackberry bush. As you can see, it's growing and growing and growing. So maybe, and we got quite a few fruit off of this. Actually, Jonathan ate my doggone blackberries, if I'm not mistaken. Another fig tree with the marigolds at the bottom. Always add stuff in between. And this one, I have 3 different blueberry plants. They're all the rabbit eye, I believe. And so as you can see, there's some more of that Brazilian spinach. I just cut it and plunked it in. That was like 2 weeks ago, and they're doing well. So they thrive very easily. Now, one thing, this is what happens when you garden. In between, you'll see these areas here. I put strawberry bare roots because I was going to have them grow with it. But I think I planted them too early. I think it's still warm, so I'm going to have to buy new ones and get them in because I don't think they're going to survive. But the blueberries look very green, so they must be doing okay. And this is like my newest bed. So, what's funny about this one, this is the raspberry. They were dying in one spot. Apparently, you can't plant raspberries next to blackberries. So, they were over there and I had to move them. And now they're green. They're doing all right. So, it's going to come back. I'm believing it. And here, this empty space, I just planted my elephant garlic bulbs and they're going to hopefully grow up. It takes about 6 months for garlic to grow, so it'll be a while. This is zucchini area. Again, everything I kind of succession plant where plant something, wait a couple weeks, and plant another plant just like that somewhere else so that you can have a continual harvest. And as you can see, these are the new radishes, new squash. I believe this winter squash. And up here, you can see the baby kale growing. So this is going to be kale. And this is the hibiscus roselle, I believe. I ate these. They call it Jamaican sorrel or something like that. These are this outside part. It's pretty good. Or you can make tea out of it. And it grows bushy, so I'm waiting for it to bush out. But I might still plant some seeds at the bottom, just to make it just like obnoxiously bushy and big and crazy, so I can harvest as much as possible. And this is more stuff that I just planted to see if it gets supposed to get about 5 to 7 feet big. We'll see. I want it to be green. I want it to be like jungle like back out here. Anyway, so this area here are my main beds. I didn't want to make one huge bed, so I kind of separated them so I can stand between each area. And these are different areas. Like you saw the carrots on the other side, they were pretty big. This is newly planted carrot right here, this brown area here. Again, my herbs, there's oregano. All of this right here on the edge, that's just kale. There's some green beans there, more green beans. I might put beets here. This dill that I'm letting go to seed. And then a zucchini plant here. As you can see, I just planted a new one there, but this is my zucchini plant. She's kind of pretty. Kind of. She be getting on my nerves. So I just pulled up these watermelon plants because I think it was just way too late for me to plant them. So I'm going to try again in spring. And then this is more dill that I'm letting go to seed. Some more oregano. These 3 plants, boom, boom, boom. That's my broccoli. And let's see, I think these might be ready too. Yeah, yep. Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna get some more radishes out. Same thing with the kale. Thing with the kale, you just cut the leaves off and it'll keep growing. So I'm just gonna cut the biggest ones off and let that keep growing. Beautiful, beautiful rosemary. I love rosemary, y'all. Okay, so here I have more tomato plants. They're flowering too, so we'll see them in a bit. This area right here, that's carrots. As you can see, it's pretty full. Nope, radishes. Sage. I gotta ward off the evil pale spirits by burning that. Some chives. I already showed you the tomatoes and basil. And this is more kale. There's different types of kale. Again, I'll just cut off the bigger ones and leave the smaller ones so they can keep growing. And in here, these 2 are broccoli, some rosemary, cauliflower, kale, oregano, cauliflower, kale, thyme, Brussels sprouts, Swiss chard. In the corner, lavender. Let me get out the way, sorry. So I try to like mix it up a little bit, but make sure I keep herbs in it. So here there's another Brussels sprout. I don't know what this is, y'all. I don't know. We're going to get surprised together because I did something to, I like planted something here also. I have no idea what the hell that is. But anyway, oregano, lavender, Swiss chard, cauliflower, carrots. Swiss chard, this one isn't doing too well, so I might take that out and just put something else there. I'm not quite sure what. And then I'll also harvest these beans. As you can see, these are doing real good. There's a lot in there. And again, more sage. Burn it. Okay, the last bed here. This was that Brazilian spinach that I was telling you about. Like you just cut it. I legitimately just cut it, put it in the ground, and it's like growing. It's like these full bushes. um, and so in between here, you'll see I put some of the strawberry bear roots. So we'll see how they do. more radishes ready to come out. Tomato plant right in the middle. This is a newer one, so it's not flowering yet, but we'll see what happens with it. And again, another stage of carrots coming up, and I'll thin these out. And then I have like the chives here, but I planted these flowers, and I don't remember the name of it. It starts with an A or whatever, but um, so that's basically the garden. Ignore the mess and stuff, but hopefully maybe in another month it'll actually look decent. Right now it doesn't look so decent, but it'll get better. But anyway, for those who asked,